All right. What is break the cycle? Break the cycle. That is Destiny, my daughter. And this is a fitness plan that the health clinic that Mom Harris has run for 15 years. It's called the health clinic or the health initiative that Mom Harris was running. It's called the 50 Plus Club. And prior to the 50 Plus Club, this beautiful woman, this absolutely beautiful, phenomenal woman, is my grandmother, Aura Lillian Leggett. This is her oldest sister in law. This is Henrietta Mason. Henrietta Mason married Richard Mason, King Richard. So they did a movie with Venus and Serena on Venus and Serena's father. And Venus and Serena's father is not King Richard. My grandmother's older brother, Richard Mason, that is the only King Richard that we acknowledge. The reason that she is important is because they invested in a school that my sister and myself and my sister Terry, we went to. But what the world doesn't know is she sent all of her children to an academy called Pine Forge Academy and then Oakwood. And then they came home, and one of them, the one who graduated in 1966 from Pine Forge Academy, and then 1970 from Oakwood, her name is Cynthia Mason. Cynthia Mason taught at a school and in the hood in our neighborhood that my family created for us, for the city. And this woman went to the highest level of in the mayor's office. The only black mayor that was in Trenton, New Jersey is Doug Palmer. So from the office of the mayor's office, after creating a school that could control what we learned and what we were taught, then she became the office manager in Doug Palmer's administration. The mayor's office, the school, and then our daughter came and taught the arts in our school. The arts was taught at such a high level at our elementary school that her grandson, my brother Malachi Macho, is a film producer extraordinaire, is one of the greatest artists all throughout, one of the greatest artists, and his older brother, Mark, back then was drawing all of the cartoons and illustrations for the New York Times. Your Peanuts cartoons, my brother, her grandson. And then on the music side, arts, music, sports, smack dab in the middle of the hood, Trenton, New Jersey. All of our aunts, all of their daughters, all of our family taught us in our school. Evelyn Harris created the daycare at that same school. She opened the daycare. So these women, Mom Harris with the Health Initiative and Aunt Henrietta, created Break the Cycle. They created Break the Cycle based off of a school. And so my grandmother invested in that same pipeline. And so all I have been doing is our family's blueprint all of our lives. Okay. So here are the 4 schools based off of my 4 children that we are offering to the world. 2 performance art schools. Performance arts are monetizing our image in everything that we do, fashion, sports, anything that where we're competing for championship trophies and all of that. This is a school, these are schools where we teach people how to do that at the highest level, and then we pay them to do it publicly in competition, and we pay them better than anybody else. And the closest competitor to this here in Florida is 3 schools. It's a school, 4 schools. They have a lifeguard training school called Farragut Academy. They have a down in West Palm Beach where Donald Trump's son goes to school at. It's a school called Oxbridge Academy. They pay $65,000 a year for every student. Every student pays $65,000 a year. And they have 45 or 50 different sports teams that they compete in. They got arts, blah, 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 blah. $65,000 a year, that's the tuition for K through 12. Then you have Mount Verde Academy up there by where Miss Laura and them live. It's a private school that focuses on sports. And then the ultimate one, it was just sold to the Chinese for $1.5 billion in 2018. Chinese. Now, Chinese can't beat us in any sport whatsoever. So if the Chinese are going to come into Florida and if they are going to run a business and we can produce a better product, and if their school was worth $1.5 billion and they charge $85,000 a year per student, IMG Academy. IMG Academy has summer camps, they have sports camps, they have modeling camps. IMG also has a modeling agency alongside it. But what we have that they don't have is we have studios, top of the line studios, manned and operated by film producers, music producers, broadcasters, animators, game designers, all of that from Full Sail University, who produce all of the all of the albums that go to the Grammys and win. Full Sail University produces them. All of the movies that go to the Golden Globes and the Emmys and win, these people produce them. So we can ask for more tuition than any of the 4 schools I named, and we provide all of the services that they all do. We have a lifeguard training academy. We have pro level sports recreation academy. We have performance arts like Juilliard up in New York. And then we have the fashion and film and the broadcasting and the production with the studios. And 1 school for each of my 4 children. This is what you're being hired to help us give the public access to. We're giving the public a better option than they can find anywhere else as far as education, recreation, fashion, business. Break the cycle. We're breaking the cycle of poverty by giving our people better access to the great education that I received. This first school, this is Deja's school. There's an application right here. And as you can see, this is the annual tuition, $341,600 per student. Apply now, online application. We're taking applications right now. This is why we're hiring Miss Laura's daughters have a cheerleading um, organization and company, and because Destiny was offered to be the captain of her cheerleading squad at her university. And when we get down to Destiny's university, we have included the modeling and the fashion in Destiny's university because we have a fitness challenge that we're going to connect to what Miss Laura's daughters have already created. This is their sponsorship flyer that we circulate. Their dance team is called the Elite Dazzlers Dance Team. They have a dance team. Destiny has the cheerleading team, and we're putting it all together under the umbrella of our athletic school that's going to compete with IMG Academy and with Mount Verde Academy. The reason we're going to compete with them is because IMG Academy and Mount Verde Academy, they don't pay their athletes. Their athletes pay all of that money, and there's no guarantee that any of them will get a pro contract or anywhere. We're guaranteeing every last one of our students gets a 5-year, $10 million minimum contract. So when you spend this kind of money for 4 years with us, we're guaranteeing you every student gets a 5-year, $10 million contract. Every student, no matter what school you enter. This is Destiny School, Deja School. They all have 4 different schools that focus on 4 different things that we specialize in. Online application, we're taking them right now. Right now. Online application. We have properties that we've identified that by this fall, all 4 of these schools will be up and running. We're doing a summer camp this summer to get all of the sponsors that want to contribute and put title sponsorships. All of the faculty members are being hired. We are doing a summer camp this summer to hire all of the individuals who will have permanent positions with us and break the cycle. This is 4 schools. Once again, the our annual tuition per student is $341,600 per student every year, and they're gonna pay it in a heartbeat. If they're paying $85,000 a year with no guarantee of being in a broadcast, of being showcased anywhere, no guarantee, they're just paying it. We're guaranteeing if you come to our school, And all of our tuition we get from sponsors. We do sponsorships with companies that want to be involved in breaking the negative cycles that because we target the individuals in the toughest neighborhoods because the best athletes in the world are those in the poorest neighborhoods. So what this is full scholarships with a guaranteed 5-year, $10 million financial contract. Our sponsors pay the tuition. You get a full scholarship, but you have to play in our leagues to be able to, for the sponsors to get their return on their investment. You have to be in our broadcast. You have to play in our leagues. If you come to our schools, you got to play in our leagues. That's the thing. None of these people have to pay their tuition. This is a full scholarship, and our annual tuition is $341,600 per school. Performance arts and finance arts. Some individuals just come to our schools just to be able to get behind the camera and film and broadcast everything. And their tuition is the same thing. But when they get done, they have a guaranteed 5-year, $10 million contract to use the skills that they learned and the degrees that they received in our school in our league, broadcasting our competition, broadcasting degrees that they receive in our school in our league, broadcasting our competition, broadcasting our fashion shows, making our movies, making our albums and our records. This is Xavier's school. It's phase 2. Destiny is phase 3. And so this is Destiny School. So both of my daughters, there are 2 separate fine arts schools, schools of fine arts. So you have film and then you have Broadway. Okay? So Deja, Hollywood Pictures, the film, the fine arts, all of the stuff regarding film and broadcasting, and all of the things regarding live production and stage production. That's Destiny's school. The pre-recorded and edited and all of that, and the fashion associated with it, and all of the actors and the models associated with the pre-recorded film. That's fine arts. And then the scores and the motion and all of the music attached to those works of art fall under the motion picture fine arts school that Deja inherits. And all of the live productions, the stage productions, the outdoor festivals, the the yes, the stage performances. We call it the narrow way. That's destined. Those are both fine arts. And then anything, same thing with my sons. You have indoor and outdoor. Indoor basketball and volleyball and all of that. So Damon is indoor. Xavier is outdoor. Beach volleyball and outdoor track and field and the outdoor festivals with pro recreation. If it's indoors, it's in Damon's School of Performance Art. If it's outdoors, it's in Xavier's. Pre-recorded fine arts, that's Deja's school. Live, in person, stage performance, Destiny School. And young people and adults both can go to these schools. Young people from elementary all the way up to college can compete. And then adults who could compete at that high level, they could come to these schools, and we got leagues for adults above college and up. So anybody in our community that is good enough to play on a pro level, instead of seeing you do crime and all of this, if you're the best in the world, we say from the time you born to the time you close your eyes, we want to pay you all your life to either play, coach, be a trainer. When you stop training, you stop playing, stop coaching, then get behind the camera or some listen, all your life, you don't have to pay no dime. We give all people who go to our school, you gotta earn a full scholarship, but you gotta compete for it. So we're gonna have neighborhood games all over Florida and all over the country. And then we're gonna assign the teams from outside of Florida, just like Major League Baseball. All of the Major League Baseball teams, they come to Florida and they train somewhere in Florida. They call it spring training. Every Major League Baseball team has a place in Florida where they do all of their spring training. We're doing the same thing with our league. Your head team's headquarters may be in Chicago, maybe in Detroit, maybe in Compton, maybe LA or whatever. But your home, when we compete, you will have a home here in Florida that we will assign you to. And in those neighborhoods, we're having neighborhood games right now to hire the individuals that will man all of the positions to make sure out of these schools, we can produce professional level teams that will compete. Not just in football, not just in basketball. We talk about track and field. We talking about dirt bikes. We talking about everything that we do in our hood, in our neighborhood, and stuff that you don't see nowhere else. We are providing a way where if you do it in your neighborhood, you can come to the neighborhood games and compete and get paid to do it. So now they don't have to lock you up, and when you ride dirt bikes in our neighborhood, they want to lock you up. They have leagues, paintball leagues, and laser tag leagues, and all of that for all of these suburban neighborhoods. So their kids, they go into these leagues and they're able to play in competitions and they get paid in those leagues. For us, because we don't have nowhere to go, our kids, they go to Walmart and they get the same guns, and then they want to lock our kids up. So instead of having my nephews and all of them who see suburban neighborhoods and suburban kids all around the world go in these, they have paintball leagues all over suburban United States. But the moment that, and then Walmart sells the paint guns and the paintballs. So when our kids go in and get the paint but because nobody has thought to provide and invest in real estate so that the neighborhoods can come and compete, when we go down there and buy them their paintballs, where they gonna shoot them. And now we get locked up for the same thing. It's called full ownership. We're not talking about it. We're not nothing. And so you have been hired to fulfill some type of role to launch and give access to all of these things. And y'all don't even have to go out and get the sponsors and all of that. All we saying is, if you've been an athlete before, if you've played on a high level, if you coached and all of that, then we want to use you and your history of what we've done all our lives, and we'd rather pay y'all because you understand our language. You've come from the same neighborhoods we've come from. That's all. But if y'all want to go and work for all of these other people and get paid less or nothing, and you want to work for these hospitals and you want to work for all of these other places, go ahead. What we're saying is, because we're charging 4 times more, we're able to pay 4 times more. If the Chinese can come into the United States of America and buy a sports academy, and then other people are going to go there, we're going to go into our neighborhoods and we're going to create the same exact model. And we're going to say, y'all keep going over there to the Chinese. And we're going to show y'all that the Chinese ain't better than us in nothing. And you can only come to our school by invitation. You can only join our neighborhood games by living in one of our inner city urban neighborhoods and already having a name in your neighborhood. And not be on the AAU circuit in the Chinese in they leagues and none of these. Listen, if you from our neighborhood and you from our community and you don't have no affiliation, then we want you to come to our school and play with us. If you already in the AAU, we do not want you. Straight up. Yes. AAU, all of that. Except our family members, of course. And there are case by case. We always gonna let our family members that are in those different leagues. If my nephews like, I got a partner in my da 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 that's on one of my team. Any of our loved ones who speak on anybody, then by all means. But I'm just talking about the average person that we don't know. Straight up, listen, it's so many individuals in our neighborhoods that have never, ever, ever been showcased. We don't need to go nowhere outside our neighborhood. And we could put on we're going to prove that we could put on a better product that y'all are watching in the NBA and NFL and in the Olympic Games, all of that. We're going to show you that right now in the urban inner city, you have been wasting trillions of dollars. We're going to prove to you in these 4 schools, we're going to generate, I've already done the numbers, $23 trillion a year, 23 trillion with a T. That's how much you're wasting. The small amount of individuals that play in the NBA is less. It's like 500 people. 500. There's 300 million people in the USA, and 500 people out of 300 million represent the best in basketball. Is no way. It's no way. And it's like 1,500 people in the NFL. And it's no way in the world that they are the best people in the United States because they got all these people coming from overseas, coming over here, taking spots. I promise you, we could find 10,000 professional football players better than anybody that you see in the NFL. And we can find the same number of basketball players, including LeBron James, better than anybody that you're looking at in the NBA. They are in our neighborhoods. And we're going to prove it. And when you have 10,000 people who are getting paid to play basketball, And when you have 20 to 30,000 people who are getting paid to play pro football, and then we're paying track athletes that don't get nothing. And then we're paying our individuals that ride dirt bikes, our individuals in our paintball leagues. We're paying them the same salaries that we pay in pro NFL and pro NBA. $23 trillion. That's my challenge to my employees annually over the next 7 years, between when my 12-year-old finishes high school. By the time my 12-year-old finishes high school and he's ready to join the pro leagues that his brother, the adult pro leagues, I expect to have put up you and break the cycle to have annually over the next 7 years $23 trillion every year for the next 7 years. Just own it.